This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by BMO Harris Bank.
We're here at All Seasons Ice Rinks with Evan Pike of Waubonsie Hockey. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You guys are having another great season. So what has it been like for you guys playing the way you guys are playing right now?
Everyone's definitely on the same page. We're gelling together really well. We've come out with a lot of wins, so it's really enthusiastic towards the end of the year.
Now you yourself are having an unbelievable season, putting up points left and right. So what's it been like to play with your top line and just the way you guys have been putting up those goals?
Well, it definitely helps having Stobart, Kenyon, and other guys like McIntosh on our line. They can put up numbers and put pucks in the net. As you can see, most of my points are from assists, so it really works well, me dishing it off to other guys.
Speaking of Stobart, he comes from a family that's been known with this program. So what's that been like to play with Jake and where he's been at and what he's been able to do, and just seeing him mature, I guess, over the years?
Well, I've played with him since I was young, so I've gotten to know him well. But we sometimes refer to him as the younger Stobart, one that's not as good. I don't know. There's a lot of jokes going on in that family, but it's fun to have him and his experience.
That's really funny because I remember talking to Tommy a couple of years ago, and he told me that watch out for Jake, that he was going to be better than him. But I guess that's not the case.
Not in our locker room, it's not.
Well, but you guys are obviously putting up points. You guys are obviously doing something right on that top line. You guys are scoring at a ridiculous rate. So when you guys are putting up those kind of points, is there anything that you have to worry about? I mean, as far as your team goes, or are you guys just letting it keep going?
Just letting it keep going, and we don't feel a lot of pressure on us, and I think that's helped us put up all the points we have, because we know our second and third lines can put up points. Our fourth line as well, they put up goals this year, so we know we have good depth and we don't have to be relied on for every game.
That's, I guess, one thing that is different that Coach Frasco was telling me, is that he's able to roll 3-4 lines and know that he doesn't have to worry about a drop-off. So when you guys have that kind of depth, what can this team do? I mean, as far as where this team can go?
Oh, the sky's the limit for sure. Just as long as we don't have any injuries or many suspensions, we'll be fine for the rest of the year with our depth.
You have a couple games left in the year, in the regular season, but you also have a goal in mind for the regular season. So what about the end of the division season are you guys looking forward to?
Well, our original goal is to clinch first place in our league, but now that it's coming to the end, we've realized we have a chance to set a school record. So we're definitely focused on winning out these next 2 games to set that record and have a legacy for our team.
At the end of the season, you have Nico coming up. So what's that game like to play against the rivals, Nico, on senior night every year like this?
Well, yeah, it's our senior night and theirs as well. So there's definitely a lot of emotions going. It'll be a great experience. It's always crowded, a lot of people coming in. It'll be a tight game. Last time we played them, had to come back in the third period and put up 4 goals, so it's always going to be close.
One thing I've always wondered about combined hockey teams is having multiple schools come together under one banner, under one color. You coming from Atia, what is that like to don the jersey of Waubonsie in the green and gold?
We actually do love our green and gold jerseys no matter what school we come from, but there's definitely some locker room rivalries going on at football games, some trash talking back and forth, but really we all just come together when we're out playing hockey. We're all one team.
Did you have a chance to gloat about your team getting the first win against Waubonsie earlier this fall?
Oh yeah, we definitely rubbed it in a little bit, but they made it a lot further in state, so they got the last laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have that kind of camaraderie in the locker room, that kind of cohesiveness, that obviously is a big deal when you're on the ice, right? As far as communication goes.
Oh yeah, just everyone's friendly with each other. We all know each other really well. We have team hangouts on weekends, so the camaraderie is definitely there.
This team is obviously doing very well, but a couple years ago, this team also won state. You weren't part of that team, you were playing club hockey, but what did you learn from watching that team from afar and where this team can be and where this team can go from there?
Well, last year I sat out a lot of the year with a broken leg, and I really got to watch Coach Frasco, and I learned a lot from him all my junior year. I've really implemented that into this year, took notes from him, and we definitely know the sky's the limit. I watched 2 years ago them win state. We really want to make it to the United Center and get that experience.
You have a few guys from that team that are still around with, Stobart and Jake Serino and Arnold Ferrara. So what have they kind of talked to you guys about in the locker room as far as how to get to that point?
So having Arnold and Stobart as assistant captains definitely helps with their experience. They know what it takes to get there, and they know how to win games. So they've definitely helped me shape our focus for the year.
Yeah. Now you're a captain this year. So what's that been like as far as going from broken leg junior year on the, kind of sitting in the back of the locker room, I guess, to now up front being the leader of this team?
Yeah, I was definitely more reserved last year, and I wasn't as big of a star for sure. So it's definitely been a lot of culture shock and very different this year. But just taking it one game at a time, trying to do your best each game.
What's different about it? I mean, do you have to be? What's different about being a leader, I guess?
I definitely have to expose myself a lot more. Sometimes crack down on guys, even though they won't like it. But
yeah.
Just the leadership aspect that you have to take.
Now, you mentioned that you weren't part of the team a couple of years ago. You were playing club hockey. What's the difference between club hockey and high school hockey?
I'd say club hockey, the overall talent is higher. It's just there's more high caliber teams, whereas high school, you definitely have the high caliber teams in it, but you also have lower teams that you play as well. So it's just the overall game-to-game talent.
Yeah. A team that you've seen a bunch in combined is Glenbard. What's that rivalry like between the two teams? You guys winning state a couple of years ago, they won state last year. So what's that like between the two teams?
Well, having combined rivalries, you don't necessarily like to see them do good, but I know a couple of guys on the Glenbard team, so we definitely have a rivalry with each other, and each game you got to come out strong. We know we all care about the state tournament at the end of the year, so every league game just one step closer to that state game. Before
you get to state, you guys also have the Illinois West Cup. What have you guys learned from last year, not winning it, but what have you guys learned that it's going to take to get that West Cup?
Well, last year coming so close with the 2 overtime losses against Nequa, that definitely hurt, and we know what it takes to get there. We were just 2 shots away each game. So really, we have the experience, we know what it takes to get there and to win, and that's what we're trying to do this year.
To get to that point, you're going to have obviously solid play and goal. What have you liked about both your goalies that you have, Charles and Jacob, playing in the net there?
Well, Swanee has stepped up from JV and Charles has stepped up from JV too. So it's definitely a lot difference in the caliber of players they've been playing against. And it's great to see them step up to the challenge every game.
For you guys to get back to where you want to be, it's going to take obviously a team effort. So what do you like about your chances with the season ending here and playoffs getting ready to start?
I think our chances are definitely improving by every game. We got Mitch coming back from being injured. We're really starting to have a full team for the first time since the start of the year. So we have a lot of depth going into the state tournament.
Well, Evan, that's about all the time we have for today, but I want to thank you again for joining me, and good luck the rest of the regular season and into the playoffs.
Thanks for having me.